You wake up to sunlight on your face, not the weak, pale kind that sneaks through a crack in the shutters. Real light, warm, heavy, pouring in like someone tipped a bowl of gold over the city. For a few long seconds, that is all there is. You feel the rough weave of the blanket against your skin, the cool patch of stone floor under your bare heel. Somewhere outside, a cart rolls past, its wheels ticking over the grooves in the street. A woman is calling to someone 2 houses down. A dog barks once, then thinks better of it and goes quiet. It is one of those mornings where Rome feels almost kind. The air smells clean for once. You swing your legs over the edge of the bed. You stand. You stretch until your back pops. Your shoulder brushes cold stone. You lower your gaze, the way you have always done when power walks by. Someone's hand closes hard around your arm. The first blow does not even hurt right away. It is more like the world jumps sideways for a second. A flash of white behind your eyes, the taste of metal on your tongue where you have bitten it. Shouts somewhere close that might be for you or might not. Your knees forget briefly how to hold you. When your hearing comes back, it is full of unfamiliar words. Contract, debt, sentence, property. Hands twist your arms behind your back. Rope bites into your wrists. The street tilts and then steadies as they pull you forward. People watch. Some pretend not to. Others do not bother hiding it. The soldiers do not hurry. After a while, the streets start to change. The smell shifts first. Less bread, less cooking, more leather, sweat, iron. The noise changes too. Short shouts, the dull thud of impact, metal scraping on metal, the sharp crack of wood on wood. You pass under an arch and into a yard enclosed on all sides by high walls. Sand underfoot, racks of weapons along the walls, and men, not marching like soldiers, moving in bursts, charging, dodging, falling, getting back up whether they want to or not. A man steps into your path. He is not in armor. He is not a soldier. His tunic is better than yours was this morning. His hair is cut close. His arms are crossed as he looks you over the way someone might study an animal at a market. He grabs your jaw, tilts your head left, then right. You smell oil on his fingers, wine on his breath. He pushes your shoulder, testing how you balance. He presses a thumb into your ribs, checking for softness or broken bones. You flinch. He notices. "Not used to being hit yet," he says to the soldier beside him, as if you are not there. "That will change." Somewhere behind you, coins clink. A number is spoken. You have the sudden, sickening understanding that you have just been bought. There is a word for the kind of place you are standing in. You have heard it shouted in taverns when men talk big about courage and glory. Ludus, training school, gladiator factory. A hand moves to the rope at your wrists. For a heartbeat, something like hope flares in your chest. The rope falls away. New hands replace it immediately. They do not feel any gentler. You are led toward a low building along one side of the yard. The air inside is cooler and darker and thick with a smell you cannot quite name at first. Straw, old blood, men who have lived too close to each other for too long. Eyes follow you as you pass. Some are curious, some are bored. A few are flat and empty in a way that makes your stomach twist. You catch glimpses of them in the dim light, scars crossing faces and chests, old bruises, broken noses that never healed straight, muscles built more from repetition than from pride. A few bodies that still look too thin, too new, like yours. At the far end of the room, there is a line of cells, not cages with bars. Rooms, small square doorways blocked by wooden grates and iron latches. Enough space to lie down. Not much more. Your guide stops at one. Inside, he says, you do not move, not because you are brave, not because you have a plan, just because some part of you is still back in that sunlit doorway from this morning, hand on the frame, looking out at an ordinary street. The man does not repeat himself. He simply places one hand on your chest and pushes. You stumble back into the cell. Your shoulder hits rough wall. Your heel hits the edge of a pallet stuffed with straw. The door closes with a thud that feels louder than the yard outside. For a moment, everything is quiet. Then the sounds seep back in. The trainer shouting, the crack of wood on bone, laughter from down the line. Somewhere, closer than you would like, someone groans in pain. You sit down because there is nowhere else to go. The straw pokes through thin cloth into your skin. Dust hangs in the air, turning the light from the doorway into a dull, floating haze. You can still taste the metal from when you bit your tongue. You can still feel the ghost of the rope around your wrists. You stretch your hands out in front of you. They shake. You curl them into fists just to make them stop. Outside, someone calls another name. A different one, not yours. Sand scrapes, feet move. A new rhythm begins. You do not know the rules here yet. You do not know how long you have before someone points at you and says, it is your turn. All you know is this. This morning, the sun woke you up in your own bed. Tonight, it will set on you as property in a yard, built to turn men into weapons and weapons into entertainment. And tomorrow? Tomorrow, Rome will want to see what you are made of. You do not sleep much that first night. The body is tired, the mind is not. Every time your eyes start to close, some new sound snaps them open again. A man coughing hard, 2 cells down. Someone muttering a prayer over and over in a language you only half recognize. A sudden bark of laughter that has too much edge in it to be joy. The straw under you keeps shifting, prickling your skin. You roll one way, then the other, trying to find a patch that does not stab you through the thin cloth of your tunic. Each time you move, the pallet creaks, and the man in the next cell knocks once on the wall, annoyed. At some point, you must drift off anyway, because the next thing you know, someone is shouting. Not words at first, just a sound, a raw note that cuts through sleep and pulls at the spine. Then the words arrive, sharp and practiced. Up on your feet. Your body reacts faster than your thoughts. You sit up, the room tilts, blood rushes to your head. You swing your legs off the pallet and plant your feet on cold stone in one clumsy, continuous motion. Outside the door, light is already pushing in. It is not the gentle sunlight from yesterday morning. This comes in hard and flat, filtered through dust and bars, carrying heat with it. The air in the cell feels thick, as if too many people have already been breathing it for too long. The door grates open. A trainer stands there, not the man who bought you, but another one, broader, older. His hair is more gray than black. Scars run in pale lines across his arms. He holds a wooden staff in one hand and a look on his face that says he has seen 100 men like you walk in and less than half of them walk out. You, he says, jerking his chin toward the yard, move. You step out of the cell. The yard looks different in the morning. The sand is smooth in some places, freshly raked. In others, it still holds the faint marks of yesterday's drills. The sun has not climbed high yet, but the walls trap the light and throw it back onto the ground, turning the whole place into a shallow bowl of brightness. You are not alone. Men are emerging from other doorways, blinking in the light, stretching stiff limbs, adjusting the belts on tunics that do not quite fit. There are more of them than you realized last night. A small army, if anyone outside these walls thought of them that way. The trainer walks to the center of the yard. "Listen," he says. He does not shout, but his voice carries. Years of practice. In here, I do not care who you were out there, thief, farmer, soldier, slave, free man who crossed the wrong person. It is all the same to me now. He taps the staff against the sand. Once, twice. Out there, you belong to Rome. In here, you belong to this Ludus. You belong to him. He jerks his head toward the man who bought you yesterday, now standing at the edge of the yard with his arms folded. And you belong to me. He lets that sit for a moment. You will eat when we tell you. You will sleep when we tell you. You will fight when we tell you. You will not fight when we tell you not to. If you disobey, you will hurt. If you disobey again, you will disappear. He sweeps his gaze over the group. Some of you will die here in training. Some of you will die out there in the games. A few of you, he lifts his staff slightly, a very few, will live long enough to hear your names chanted by people who once stepped out of your way like you were nothing. He shrugs. Who ends up where? That is part luck and part work. You cannot touch the luck. You can touch the work. He points the staff directly at you for a second. Not long, just enough. You, what did you do before this? The question hits you like a thrown stone. Do you tell the truth? Do you lie? Does it matter? Work, you say, voice rough. Whatever I could find. A snort from somewhere to your left. Good, the trainer says. You already know how to hurt at the end of the day and get up the next morning. That will help. He points at another man, taller, broad-shouldered. You, soldier? The man nods once. Thought so. You know how to carry weight and follow orders. That will help too. He moves through a few more, asking, labeling, not as people, but as starting points. Farmer, thief, sailor, guard. Each word seems to drop the man carrying it into a category in the trainer's mind, a shelf where he can be stored until needed. Finally, the trainer claps his hands once. Enough. Time to see what you have. He leads you to a rack of practice weapons. Up close, they look even more unforgiving. Wooden swords, yes, but thick and heavy. Shields with edges that could break a bone if they catch you wrong. Staves, weighted training blades. He throws one of the wooden swords at you. You have just enough warning to get both hands around it. The impact still stings your palms. It is heavier than it looks. Feel that? He asks. That is what happens when you swing something made to last more than one blow. Your arms are not ready. Your back is not ready. By the end of today, you will learn where all of your muscles live. He turns away before you can answer. Pairs, he calls. Now. People move. You find yourself facing another man roughly your size. His eyes flick up and down your body, measuring you the same way you're trying to measure him. He has old scars on his forearms and a nose that has definitely been broken more than once. Hold it like this, the trainer says, walking between the pairs. He adjusts, grips, shoves elbows up or down. slaps the flat of a sword against a shoulder that has dropped too low. You copy the shape he shows you. Your hands already ache. The first drill is simple. Step forward, swing, step back, again, and again, and again. The wood meets wood with a dull crack each time your sword hits your partner's. Every impact runs up your arms into your shoulders, then your neck, until your whole upper body feels like one long vibrating line. You lose count somewhere around 30. Your breath starts to come quicker. Sweat stings the cut in your mouth, reminding you of the soldier's fist. The sun climbs higher. The sand under your feet gets hotter. Your grip slips once, and the trainer's staff lands hard between your shoulder blades. Do not drop your guard, he says. The man in front of you is not your friend, he is your teacher. When he hits you, he is telling you where you are open. You grit your teeth, you keep swinging. Time collapses into drills, footwork, blocks, basic strikes, how to fall without shattering every bone that hits the ground, how to get back up even when you do not want to. At some point, they let you drink from a shared jug of water. It tastes like dust and metal. It is the best thing you have put in your mouth all day. You glance around. Some men are already flagging. A few look like they might vomit. One does, quietly, into the sand, then straightens up and goes back to the drill without being told. You notice, too, that not everyone is new. There are men here whose movements are smoother, whose breathing stays steady, whose eyes flick every now and then toward the trainer to see who he is watching most closely. One of them catches your eye for a heartbeat. He does not smile. He does not nod. He just looks at you, reads something in your stance, and then turns back to his own work. You do not know yet whether that is a good sign. By the time the trainer finally calls a halt, your arms feel like they belong to someone else. They shake when you try to lower the sword. Your fingers resist opening, as if the wood has grown roots into your palms. Your legs feel hollow, like they have been scooped out and loosely filled back in. Enough for today, he says. For you. He glances at a few of the more experienced fighters. Not for you. You stay. You are too tired to feel relief properly. It drifts through you like smoke, leaving only a thin aftertaste. They send you back to the cell. As you walk, every step sparks a new complaint from some part of your body you had never paid attention to before. Ankles, hips, the small muscles along your spine that you did not even know you had. Inside, the air is cooler than the yard. You sink down onto the pallet without being told. Your hands, still shaking, rest on your knees. Outside, the rhythm of the yard continues without you. Blows, shouts, laughter that does not sound friendly, the creak of leather and wood. Somewhere in that pattern you realize is your future. If you are lucky, you will last long enough to walk out of this place into the light of the arena. If you are unlucky, your story ends in this yard. Either way, Rome will watch, and it will not look away.